Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here to show you guys how I do my full coverage foundation routine. This is basically what I do every time it is that I'm gonna do my makeup because like I love full coverage. If sometimes I want like a lighter coverage, then I honestly won't even wear any foundation. I'll just wear concealer, mascara, like all of that stuff, just no foundation. So if you guys want to see how I do it, then just keep on watching. So the foundations that I like to use for full coverage, now this is like a newer foundation for me, the Cover FX Power Play foundation, and it looks like this. One of my friends gave it to me in December, so I've been using it since December and I love it. It's so good. Like the coverage is so freaking amazing. And I've also used, I haven't used it in a little while, the Becca Ultimate Coverage Foundation, which looks like this. And this one I had in the summer. I'm not gonna use this one because it's a little bit too like tan-ish for me right now. Like if I was to go to the beach like one time, then that would be that shade, but I'm not because it's freaking winter here in New York. So I already moisturized. I use Pond's Dry Skin Cream, I think, the blue top. That's the one that I use to moisturize. So I already did that and it's dried into my face. So actually, so yeah, okay, sorry. I'm gonna now spray myself with the Mario Badescu rose water. And I like my skin to be nice and dewy. I have super dry skin, and like, I don't know, that's just not the type of look that I like. I don't like matte looks just because I am so dry. So I always add some extra hydration with rose water or some type of facial spray. So you gotta just let it dry in. Okay, so now once it's like pretty dried into the skin, I like to go in with some color corrector. So what I use, you guys see me use this all the time on my channel. I love this palette and I've had it for like almost 2 years, I want to say. This is the Naked Skin Shapeshifter palette by Urban Decay, and I really like this one because mine is really dirty and like super used, because it has one side for powders. That's the mirror, I'm sorry. And as you can see, I've used a lot of them in Hip Pan. And then the other one has like creams for, so like a cream contour. This was a concealer that I used all, and these two I use for correctors, and this is a highlighter. So I'm gonna use this like orangey shade to color correct, and I just use my fingers. Just obviously make sure that your hands are clean. And I color correct with like an orangey shade for like my dark circles. If you don't have dark circles, then like God bless you, but like I got some, so I'm gonna go ahead and cover them up. Again, I don't do this for every day. I do this just like whenever it is that I'm gonna go out, and I just prefer to use my fingers. I just feel like the product kind of like melts better into the skin, if that makes any sense. So yeah, and you can kind of already see a difference. Like this side looks so much better than this side. Like I look tired as fuck. This side I look fine. So color corrector is like your best friend if you want full coverage, which I'm assuming you do if you're watching this video. Okay, and then just cause I have an eyelash, I add some around my nose because it tends to get pretty red. And then if you have like any blemishes or anything like that, now would be the time to go ahead and correct all of those. So I just have like a little spot here, and I have like some random like discoloration, which like I honestly don't care too much about, but I'll just cover it just for the sake of the video. But I don't really care. I just put a shit ton of concealer. And like as women, we tend to get like redness and stuff around here, and it's just like hormonal. It's not like we can't really control that. So don't beat yourself up over it. Just use some corrector. So now that you look pretty much like even well, not even, because you still have like orangey concealer on, but like it looks like a cleaner slate. So now what I do is I go in with a concealer. So this isn't my favorite concealer, but it's just the concealer that I have. So this is just what I'm gonna use, but it's good, it works fine. I have nothing against it, but I've used better. This is just the CoverGirl Outlast concealer, and it's in the shade 820 Light Pale, because I'm light and pale. So I'm just gonna just put this on first before I put on my foundation. And I like to put some on my lids as well. And I like to put some around my nose and on my nose because it's a little red. And around my chin and like mouth area. And I feel like whenever I put concealer and I blend it out right away, I kind of take some of the coverage away. So I kind of like to let it sit for a little bit. And I don't know, I feel like it just gives me more coverage. I don't know why. I look so freaking crazy. So I don't know, I just let it sit for a little bit, kind of like let it dry down. And then I go in with a damp beauty blender. So beauty blenders are usually smaller when they come in the package. You just have to wet it and like squeeze the water out. Make sure you squeeze the water out, because if not, then when you're using it on your face, the moisture is going to take some of the product away, which obviously you don't want that. That's annoying. So what I do is, like, after I squeeze it out as much as I can in the sink, I like to come and like I use a towel and I squeeze the rest of the water out into the towel until like I'm absolutely sure that there's no more moisture in it. So you want it damp, but you don't want to like squeeze it and feel water coming out. If you're still feeling that, just keep squeezing more. So now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna blend the concealer. Just blend. Okay, there we go. So your face should look pretty even by now. Because you have the concealer, everything blended out. So now, since I have dry skin, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to spray my face one more time with the rose water. And I'm going to let that go in. Just because this foundation is pretty, the Cover FX that I spoke about, it is pretty, like, on the thicker side. Like, a little thicker than I usually use. But it's totally fine. It's just, it's a fuller coverage. So it's going to be thicker, which I'm okay with. And I'm gonna go ahead and I use, like, I don't know, because this is, I can't really say a measurement like a pump or something, so like I'm gonna just say a few squeezes of this because it's like a squeeze bottle, just kind of weird, but whatever. So I kind of just like draw like little things on my face. And obviously you can use more or less coverage depending on your preference. So like if you don't like to feel like foundation and stuff like on your skin, then obviously don't use as much. Or if you don't need as much, you know. So I'll do something like this. So, and then I'll go in first with a brush. So I'm just using, this is a BH Cosmetics brush, and it's just like an angled brush. I've used these so much on my channel, like especially like a few years back when I first started my channel, I would always use these brushes. Like, they're freaking great, and I've had them for like 4 years, I want to say. So I'm gonna go in, and what you want to do, you don't want to swirl your brush because that's gonna take away some of the foundation. You want to just pat it into the skin. So my nose gets so itchy whenever I do my makeup. I don't understand. So now I'm going back in with my beauty blender, and I'm gonna just smooth everything out. Just make sure it's all nice and evenly blended. Make sure you blend down to your neck. And obviously you can achieve full coverage. You don't have to use like a name brand or like a more expensive foundation if you can't afford it, obviously, like, but this is just the one that I'm using just because I really like this foundation and the coverage. I think it's gorge. So now is when you would kind of look at yourself and you would see if you need more in any other areas. I think I'm okay. I'm just gonna blend down some more to my neck. So there you go. And now you want to actually go in and like conceal, like, well, highlight, because you already concealed. So now there you go. So again, I just let my concealer set a little bit. While it sets, I'm gonna do my eyebrows just so when I'm done, I don't look crazy as hell, you know. I'll be right back. So I'm back with some brows. I just did like a super quick eyebrow, like nothing to like stunt on you bitches. Just to be regular, just a regular brow. So I could definitely do an eyebrow tutorial. Just let me know if you guys want to even see that. But yeah, so I'm gonna blend out my concealer now under my eyes. It's a little dry, but it's okay. So, oh my god, I'm sorry if you guys hear anything in the background. My family is so loud, like, oh. That's their quiet voices. They know I'm filming. Okie doke. So this is basically it. So now I'm gonna go in and set my face. Now I use it depends on my mood. But this powder works just fine for me, just because I'm pretty dry, so I try not to use like so many different types of like crazy intense powders. So I really love the Maybelline Fit Me powder. It's for normal to dry, I think. Normal to dry skin. Where the hell is it? I don't know, but this is the powder I like to use. I use it in the color 120 Classic Ivory. Or is it Satin Smooth? I don't know. This is really good. I know that they have a matte one and one for dry skin. I do not use the matte one. So this is the one for dry skin, but I don't know, I don't see it. It's just the one that's called Set and Smooth. Oh yeah, for normal to dry skin. So this is what I use. I don't use the little sponge that came in here. I don't know where it's at. I feel like for fuller coverage, you definitely want to go in with a brush. This brush is like from the same line from BH Cosmetics. It's just like a rounder, like dome-ish brush, and it's really tightly packed, lots of bristles. So this is the type of brush that I like to use. If you want like an even more full coverage, then you can use, I think it's MAC, the Studio Fix powder, which is basically, it's a foundation in a powder form, and that just adds more coverage, but I'm not really into that. But if you want to do that, you can go ahead. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna swirl my brush, and I'm gonna tap away any excess, and I'm gonna press this into my skin. Now, of course, it's powder, so it does make me look a little bit dry, but I do certain things while I'm like to prep and like, not prep, well, yeah, prep my skin before I do my whole foundation routine, which is why you guys saw, like, I put the dry skin cream. I sprayed my face a few times with the rose water just so my skin just looks a little bit more dewy, and then of course I add in some powder highlight. And then I spray again, like I do this whole thing. So now that my base is literally like flawless, my under eyes, I feel like they don't look as bright as I would want them to look. So you guys have seen me use this in so many tutorials, and I need you guys to get this powder. This is the Bare Minerals concealer in the shade Well Rested. It's like a yellowish powder. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a yellow powder. And you literally need the tiniest amount of this powder, and it provides the craziest coverage. Like, it's popping. Like, you guys need to get this powder. I used to actually use Bare Minerals like foundation powder, like their, like all of it, like their whole line. Like when I was 18, so I'm 25 now, however many years ago that was, I used to use it. And I loved it. It was so good. And then I realized, like, holy shit, my skin is like mad dry. I should stop using powders. But I loved it. It was so good. I actually might buy it and see like how my skin reacts to it now, but I love it. But this is the concealer. So I like to add this powder concealer, so I just tap some of it onto the cap. And you don't need a lot. Like I said, I've had that for a few years. I honestly, maybe 2 to 3 years. Like, it lasts a while. I of course don't use it every single day because it's when I want like a super bright, intense under eye. And I just take my Real Techniques brush. Like, this brush is the best for under eye stuff. I've actually even seen people use this on their eyelid, but like I don't have that much lid space, so I just like swirl and like tap, and then I go ahead and I buff this all over my eye. And then you're gonna see the difference between my right eye right here and then my left eye. And I blend it down like a V shape. So you can see this one looks a little bit brighter and this one doesn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this one brighter. But you guys, y'all need to get on this, like, dead serious. I don't remember how much this is. It's maybe like 30 bucks or possibly less. Actually, no, I lied. I think it's less than that. I think it's in the 20s. I don't know, but it's so good. I'll find the price and I'll put it on the screen somewhere while I'm editing this. So I put the concealer well, this powder concealer everywhere that I put the other concealer. So again, like around my chin, my mouth, and like a little bit on my forehead. So now I'm just gonna fast forward through like finishing the rest of my face. So my face is done. Now I'm gonna add some highlighter. I know I always use this highlighter, but you guys, this is another thing that you gotta buy. I don't know if it's still, I think it's still on sale, but the Amrezy Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter. And does this even have a name? I think it's just the Amrezy highlighter. Yeah, whatever. We all know what it looks like, but that's the packaging. Sorry, my ring light. And this is the pan, which I don't know how I haven't hit pan, but it's bomb, you guys. It's freaking bomb. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna highlight, and I'm just using the Anastasia I don't know, I think A28 highlighter brush. It's just the one that looks like this. It's really good too. So I highlight the crap out of my face. And this is just what I do to make me, I guess, not look so flat. So my nose highlight, my chin, Cupid's bow is really important. Cheekbones, of course. And I kind of like make this like kissy face, just so I can really see like where my cheekbones are. I have a little bit of texture here, but like, I don't care. I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to catfish anyone, you know? I'm just a bitch with a little texture, wanting to highlight. So you can go around like this. Like I said, I'm really, like, I have really dry skin, so I just like to do this just to make my like super full coverage foundation not look like it's like cakey or anything. Like, of course, like I do so many things to avoid that, but I like to make myself look even more dewy. So now I'll go in with my Morphe. This is almost done, but my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This is really good. Like, YouTubers talk about this for a reason. Like, it's good. So I just sprayed myself with that. So now I just like to let it dry a little. And then now I go in with my rose water again to like just kind of seal it all off and just give me more of a dewy finish. And of course it all dries down, but my skin looks more moisturized. I'm just gonna grab a book so that I can fan myself. This is like mad random, but it's what I do, you guys. When I'm gonna go out, I fan the crap out of my face. Like, you always want to make sure your skin is dry, and don't spray too much like facial mist or anything, because then it could like ruin your actual base, and you don't want that. So I like to go back in with my beauty blender and I kind of just go over the areas and kind of like press in whatever it was that I just sprayed on my face, but gently. Like, you don't want to like go to town on your face with your sponge, you know. Another thing I didn't mention, which I got a comment on my last video, was how to avoid creasing. So basically we're all gonna get creases under our eyes no matter what, like, unless, again, like, you have super perfect skin and you for some reason don't have any wrinkles under your eyes, or like it's just not something that you're born with, and that's cool. But the way that I avoid getting any creasing or anything under my eye is that I like, first of all, you need to keep that area moisturized. Like, the rest of your face, you want to go ahead and moisturize it so that it doesn't look dry or anything, or like something doesn't like cling on. So you definitely want to make sure that if you suffer from any like dry skin, you want to make sure that you exfoliate, get rid of any dry patches, all of that stuff. So that's number one. Number two, when you go ahead and you're applying your concealer, foundation, everything, all of your liquids and creams, before you add your powders and set anything in and lock anything in, you want to make sure that before you set anything, let's say I would just have the concealer now and I hadn't set anything and I had my foundation on, I would blend from the outer corner of my eye into my inner corner while I look up, making sure that I have no creasing under my eye, and I would already have my brush ready to set that under my eye. You know what I mean? So you want to just quickly like look up, blend from the outer corner, inner corner, just like do that like twice. And then you want to go ahead, have this brush already ready with whatever powder it is that you're going to use, and you're going to go ahead and set it immediately. If you're going to bake, same thing. This is one of the powders that I like to bake with. I've mentioned it before, the RCMA, what is this, no color powder. This is really, really good. I like to use this powder too, like to set my whole face, to bake, whatever the case may be. You can bake with this. It doesn't necessarily, it's translucent, like it literally has no color, so it's not gonna add any color to it. So then you would go ahead and add like the Bare Minerals concealer that I was mentioning before. But these are just some of the tips that I like to do or use while I'm doing my makeup, making sure that I have no creasing. So hopefully that helps. If you want like a more in-depth video on how to like prevent any creasing or like dry patchiness on your skin, then just let me know. I can definitely do that for you guys. Okay, you guys, so that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope that it was informative enough for you guys. I hope that you were able to learn something. Definitely please comment down below and let me know what you guys would want to see next, or if this video helped you at all, or what parts of the video that you liked, or what parts you're gonna try. Let me know. I definitely want to know all these things. Make sure that you like this video, comment down below, please leave me some feedback, and subscribe, of course, to my channel if you want to see more videos. And also my Instagram name, it's Estiee Gomez. It's the same as my channel name. Just go on Instagram, give me a follow, and we can chat through there. Just yeah, just let me know what else you guys want to see. Let me know. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Until next time.